welcome back to another video. If you're stopping by the channel for the first time, please consider subscribing to my channel. And while you're at it, smash that like button. I really would appreciate it. Also, hit that post notification bell so that you're notified every time I upload a new video. Guys, get yourself down to that first link, click on it, and join the Wealth Builders financial community on Patreon. We got 2,000 wealth builders in that financial community, and all we do in that financial community is help one another build wealth and try to get the passive income. None of us are experts. None of us try to tell you what to do, but we decided to come together as a financial community because we felt like if we could do this thing together and share best practices, share golden nuggets, tips, share what's working, what's not working, that would be a benefit to us all. So if you want to be a part of that financial community on Patreon, we're called the Wealth Builders. Get yourself down to the description box. Click on that first link, which is the Wealth Builders Financial Community Patreon link. It'll take you over to Patreon. All you got to do is sign up, send me a DM on Patreon, let me know you're rocking with me, and let's go to work. Also, I want to make sure you guys understand that the good folks at Webull are offering some cash bonus. That's right. When you open up a new Webull brokerage account, second link down in the description box, the good folks at Webull will give you a cash bonus based on the amount you put in your new brokerage account. Now, click on that link. It'll give you all the details on how to qualify for the cash bonus. But I thought I wanted to go ahead and mention that to you guys for some of you folks that are looking to open up a new brokerage account or potentially have a second brokerage account you want to have opened up to do different things. Check out that Webull link, second link down in the description box. Today, guys, we're going to talk about a company that I believe in July 2025 could potentially go absolutely crazy. And I'm going to be planting some seeds to see if I can get me a harvest. That's what I do here on my YouTube channels. I just kind of give you guys information that I go out and find myself about these different companies. And I like to come back to you guys and report back to you and give you my opinion on them because, you know, I'm trying to get to that thing they call financial freedom. I'm trying to get to that pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. And I don't want to be there on a beautiful sunny beach with blue water in front of me, right? Just chilling, having some lemonade and nobody else be there. So I like to get on this YouTube channel and share that with you guys, share my research. Again, not an expert, not trying to be an expert, not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. This is just me giving you my opinion based on a little research that I've done. So let me share with you this company that I'm excited about. Been doing some research on it and looks pretty good to me, but you have to go out and do your own research and figure it out for yourself. But the name of that company is Soundhound AI, Inc. So what does Soundhound do and who is Soundhound? Let me give you a little bit of details on this company now. Just a few details. Let me give you a few details just to set the stage. Soundhound AI Inc. is a voice artificial intelligence company based in Santa Clara, California, basically Silicon Valley. Here are some key aspects of Soundhound Inc. What is their focus? They develop AI solutions for voice-enabled devices and applications, focusing on creating customized conversational experiences. What's the technology? Soundhound's core technology, including speech and meaning and deep meaning understanding, processes speech like the human brain for faster and more accurate natural language understanding. What are their products? They offer a range of AI-driven products like smart answering, smart ordering, dynamic drive-through, voice commerce ecosystem, and Soundhound Chat AI, which integrates generative AI. What are their target industries? Their technology is used across various industries, including automotive, restaurants, TV, customer service, healthcare, finance, and retail. So pretty broad mix of potential customers, different industries, right? Which that's what I really like, that they can go into a broad mix of industries and offer their service. They're publicly traded, of course they are. Soundhound Inc. AI is publicly listed on the NASDAQ under the ticker symbol SOUN. So that'd be easy for you guys to go out and do your own research and find that ticker symbol. Let me give it to you one more time, SOUN. So what's the leadership like? The company was founded in 2005, right? And let's see here. What is the growth of Soundhound? Soundhound has demonstrated strong revenue growth, especially in areas like customer service and the restaurant industry. They have a Amelia platform, right? This Soundhound acquired the Amelia platform, which focuses on providing autonomous AI agents for enterprises to perform complex tasks through natural voice interactions. Who are their competitors? Soundhound operates in a competitive market, facing established players like Google, Microsoft, and Amazon, as well as other emerging AI startups. Other notable competitors include Vigilant AI, Fairy Devices, and Audio Analytics. In essence, Soundhound AI is a leading player in the voice AI space, providing solutions that allow businesses to build customized voice experiences and leverage the power of conversational intelligence. So that's a little snapshot for you folks that have never heard of Soundhound AI, right? Now, let's take a look at what Wall Street is saying. And then we'll take a peek at some numbers, and then we'll be getting out of here. So here it is. Wall Street bulls look optimistic about Soundhound AI. Investors often turn to recommendations made by Wall Street analysts before making a buy, sell, or hold decision about a stock. While media reports about rating changes by these brokerage firm employed or sell side, analysts often affect a stock's price. Do they really matter? Before we discuss the reliability of brokerage recommendations and how to use them to your advantage, let's see what the Wall Street heavyweights think about Soundhound. Now, for me, guys, that's important because I'm not an expert. I'm just a regular guy here on YouTube trying to go out and find companies that I can plant seeds in and hopefully at some point in the future can get me a harvest, because that's how I create what? Passive income. I got to build my assets over a number of years, and then those assets at some point when I'm no longer able to work will be able to create income for me to be able to live. So it's important that I go out and try to find companies and ETFs and index funds to plant seeds in. So Soundhound is one of those companies that I'm considering. Soundhound AI currently has an average brokerage rating or recommendation of 1.86 on a scale of 1 to 5. Strong buy to strong sell, calculated based on actual recommendations of a buy, hold, or sell made by 7 brokerage firms. An ABR of 186 approximately between strong buy and buy. Of the 7 recommendations that derive the current ABR, 4 are strong buy. representing 57.1% of all recommendations. Check price, target, and recommendation forecast for Soundhound. So the ABR suggests buying Soundhound AI, but making an investment decision solely on the basis of this information might not be a good idea, right? According to several studies. Of course, you want to go out and do your own research. You want to go to the company's website. You want to take a look at that. You also want to see what the analysts are saying, the professionals. But at the end of the day, it's your decision. You got to figure out, does Soundhound AI as a company sing to you? Does it sing to you in your gut, right? You got to make some decisions. Now, don't get me wrong. You go out and do your research, but ultimately you got to make the decision. So it says, according to several studies, brokerage recommendations have little to no success guiding investors to choose stocks with the most potential for price appreciation. So all you're doing here, guys, with these experts are you're just trying to figure out what Wall Street is saying about the company. That doesn't mean it's right or wrong, but it just gives you some level of information that then you can critically think through, right? Critically think through and make your own decision. That's what I've been telling you guys for years. You got to make your own decision when it comes to this investment thing, whether it be real estate for income, whether it be paper assets, or whether it be a business. You got to kind of think through this thing for yourself. So the vested interest of brokerage firms in a stock they cover often results in a strong positive bias of their analysts in rating it. So that's why you got to be careful, guys, when you go online and you start reading these articles from these analysts, these experts. You got to understand, in some cases, these folks could be in that stock and they have a vested interest in getting more and more people involved so that the stock price can go up. So you got to be careful. I'm not saying in all cases, but in some cases that could be true. So just be careful. Just be careful. So now let's take a look at some of the numbers. Let's do that real quick. Currently right now, the stock price is $10.77. Let me refresh this thing and see if it's went up. Let's correct that. Currently right now is $10.80. But now let's look at the 52-week high. $24.98 is the 52-week high. What does that mean? It's telling you within the last 12 months, this stock price has gotten itself all the way up to $24.98 within the last 12 months. That equals 52 weeks. What's the 52-week low? $3.82. So that's telling you the same thing as the high. It's telling you, but from a low. Over the last 12 months, the lowest price this stock has been per share is $3.98. That's a huge discrepancy. So for me personally, that shows there's some volatility there, right? So you got to be careful what you're doing. Now, in today's environment, right now, it's trading at $10.82 a share. So a long ways from the 52-week high, but also quite a bit of ways from the 52-week low. So it's kind of, you know what I mean? Some days it's strong, some days it's weak. So you got to really get in there and figure out what's the long-term viability of this company. Now, here's some other numbers that I think we need to take a look at real quick, or at least I'll share with you from my little research. Here are the quarterly numbers on this thing. And this is as of March 2025. Here are the quarterly numbers. 29 million in revenue, which is up 151% year over year. Net income, almost 130 million in net income, right? Up 493% year over year. Diluted EPS, which is earnings per share, 0.31, up 358% year over year. And then profit margin, profit margin, 446%, up 256.67% year over year. Now that is just the March numbers, right? But you can also go look at the last 4 quarters. You can go look at March 2025. You can go look at December 2024, September 2024, and June 2024. I did that, and in my research, it looks pretty good. I mean, in every quarter for the last 4 quarters, they beat expectation in both EPS and revenue from my little research. Again, don't take my research as your research. You go out and do your own research. But in my research, looks like a pretty decent up and coming company. Now, what's the market cap? It's $4.3 billion. So really nicely snugged right in there as a mid cap, right? Because a mid cap is 2 billion to 10 billion in market cap. So Soundhound AI nestles pretty nicely in there as a mid cap. So what do I think is going to happen with this thing? Well, I think that depends on their product and how they continue to integrate that product into different industries. As we already know, they got quite a few industries, right? They got quite a few industries. Let's take a look at them one more time, the industries, because for me, guys, that's the most important thing. 2 most important things for me. What's the product, right? How good is the product? And then number 2 is how big is, the revenue runway, right? And that goes back to their customers. Who are the customers? What's the potential of this industry as a whole, right? So here we go. Let's talk about product real quickly one more time. They offer a range of AI-driven products like smart answering, smart ordering, dynamic drive-through, voice commerce ecosystem, Soundhound Chat AI, which integrates into generative AI. Again, target industries. That's important to me, guys. I want to know how many industries can they sell this product into, because that gives me some type of indication of potential what? Revenue ramp up, revenue runway, right? So target industries, various industries, including automotive, right? You know how you get in your car? Well, at least in some of my cars, or at least one of my cars, I can get in there and say, hey, Mercedes, do this, do that. Hey, Mercedes, give me directions on the navigation to X. That's what they're talking about with this type of technology. And then Mercedes, a voice comes out of the Mercedes system and says, hey, okay, boom, and they give it to me. That kind of thing, right? So that's where they're headed with automotive. And then obviously restaurants, TV, customer service, healthcare, finance, and then retail. So a lot of industries that they can sell their product into. Who's the customer base? That's pretty interesting, right? They have a diversified customer base, including prominent brands like Mercedes-Benz. I know Mercedes-Benz is one of their customers because I just told you when I get in my car, and I ask the car something. Hey, Mercedes, that's all I got to say. Hey, Mercedes, what temperature is it outside? Hey, Mercedes, change the ambient lighting in the car. Hey, Mercedes, give me direct. And then the doggone car talks back to me. So I can believe that Mercedes is a customer of theirs. They also have Hyundai. They also have Honda. They also have Pandora, MasterCard, Vizio, Netflix, Square, and Snapchat. That's pretty good, man. That's pretty dang on good. And they got a great leadership team, in my opinion. I'm no expert on this company, and I'm not trying to be an expert, guys. I'm just trying to tell you that, in my opinion, based on my research, they got a pretty decent management team as well. And you can't beat the numbers, man. Like I said, guys, you can say what you want to say, but you can't beat the numbers. You cannot beat the numbers. The numbers are pretty doggone good. Again, I'm no expert on the numbers. I'm just telling you, over the last 4 quarters, the numbers look pretty dang on good. December 2024, they beat EPS and they beat revenue. September 2024, beat EPS, beat revenue. June 2024, beat revenue, beat EPS. So last 4 quarters, Company looks like it's moving along quite nicely. We'll have to see how big they can get. My job here is to, again, try to find, companies that I can actually plant seeds in, and hopefully over time, those seeds can develop into something really nice for me. That's the goal, right? Nothing guaranteed. You got to get out here and do your homework. And then you got to get a company like Soundhound to just continue to grow. And in my opinion, based on my research, I think they will. Don't get me wrong, they got some heavy competition now. They got competition out there. And I mentioned that to you guys who, some of the competitors are. So they got some competition out there. They got some competition. Let me go through that with you one more time. Competitors. Soundhound operates in a competitive market, facing established players like Google, Microsoft, Amazon. And you got some other emerging AI startups as well. So robust competition out there, but that's one of the reasons why I like Soundhound AI. You don't land a customer like Mercedes if you're not doing something right, guys. Mercedes is not going to partner with you or not buy your product. You're talking about Mercedes-Benz, guys. So clearly, in my opinion, this company is getting something right. MasterCard, really large company, is not going to buy your product if you're not doing what you say you're supposed to be doing. They're just not, guys. Mercedes and MasterCard, Netflix. You're talking about Netflix. They're just not going to. So for me, it's not they don't have a good product. Here's the key. It's very competitive. How can they continue scaling that thing? And obviously with artificial intelligence, you want to continue to just try to sell into every industry you can sell into with your product, right? But I like the fact where they're going. I like the fact that they got some big boy clients right now, right? I like that. I like the fact over the last 4 quarters, we can see improvement in revenue. You can see improvement in EPS. That is something that I like. Again, no expert here, not trying to tell you that I am or trying to give you financial advice. I'm just giving you the companies that I try to look for in order to plant seeds in, because number one, I love artificial intelligence. I think it's the future. And any company that makes my life easier through voice command, and then all of a sudden I get, I get feedback like I do in my Mercedes-Benz. I can say, hey, boom, 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 boom. Hey, Mercedes, do this, and then boom, instantly, without me being distracted, touching buttons, trying to type in stuff. Ain't got to do that. I can just say, hey, Mercedes, do this. Soundhound AI. That's who makes that possible. I love that. So I just wanted to give y'all a little quick on that company and why I believe it's going to go crazy in July. I think it's already. If you go look and see, I shared with you the 52-week high, almost $25 a share, and then the 52-week low, about $4 a share. But that's how these companies are, man. When they're trying to grow, it's some volatility. So you definitely got to go out there and do your homework and make sure it matches up with your risk tolerance. For my risk tolerance, it matches up because I got other things in my portfolio that mitigate that risk. That's why 80% of the money I invest goes into big boy blue chips like an S&P 500 ETF that tracks the S&P 500 index, top 500 companies in America. That's how I mitigate my risk when I go invest in a smaller company like this. I mitigate some of that risk because number one, I'm not going to put all my eggs in one basket. Number two, I got other well-proven investments that offset that potential risk of a smaller company like this, right? So that's what I do to kind of reduce the level of risk associated with trying to determine if one of these smaller companies can deliver. And what is deliver? an increase in my net worth. That's what I'm trying to get accomplished. So for me, it's 80% in ETFs because I don't want to be the expert. The ETF is the expert. And then about 20% for me is in individual stocks where I gotta be the expert. Like I gotta be the expert on Soundhound, even though I'm not an expert. You know, I kind of gotta be because I'm picking and choosing these individual stocks. That's why it's limited to 20% of my portfolio. And whereas 80% of my portfolio, I'm not the experts. I heavily lean on ETFs like the S&P 500 index and like information technology sector, where they're the experts. State Street and Fidelity, those guys are the experts. And then I can sit back and just kind of like make the income and then invest it and let them be the expert. But 20% of it, yes, I do take on that responsibility. But again, I like this company. That doesn't mean you gotta like it. You gotta go out and do your own research and figure it out for yourself. But for me, I think it's a pretty decent company that could potentially do something. Like again, you got companies like Mercedes, you got companies like Netflix you're working with, selling product into, you got a huge industry out there because artificial intelligence, I believe at some point will be in every industry. I think every industry will adapt some level of artificial intelligence just to support their industry and support what customers and growing their business. So that's my opinion. You guys got to figure that one out. Well, I appreciate you guys for stopping by the channel. And again, like I said, if you want to join the Wealth Builders financial community that I have over on Patreon, get down to that first link, click on that Wealth Builders Financial Community Patreon link. It will take you over to Patreon, and all you got to do at that point, guys, is sign up and come join us. We'd love to have you. What do we do in that community? We just help each other through best practices, tips and nuggets, what's working, what's not working, create a safe environment for people to ask questions. Nobody trying to sell you nothing. Nobody trying to upsell you, downsell you, side sell you, none of that stuff, right? No experts in there. Only traditional investing is what we talk about. Again, you make your own decision. We're not there to make decisions for you. We're just there as a support system, right? A support system. So if you want to get yourself out of the matrix and get yourself a support system that you can bounce ideas off of and questions off of, get yourself down to that first link and click on that Wealth Builders Financial Community Patreon link and come join us. And then send me a DM to let me know you're rocking with me so we can go to work. Also, again, that Webull offer, they're offering some cash bonus to anybody that opens up a new Webull brokerage account. That's the second link down in the description box. If you're looking for a new brokerage account, a second brokerage account, or just whatever you're looking for when it comes to brokerage accounts, you may want to give Webull a consideration. Like I said, when you open up your new Webull brokerage account, based on the deposit you may qualify for some cash bonus. Why not? Go check it out. Second link down in the description box. Click on that Webull link, get all the details, and then you can decide if you want to move forward with it or not. Well, I appreciate you guys for stopping by the channel. And if you're stopping by for the first time, please consider subscribing, share the video, smash the like button. Thoughts become things. If you can see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hands. You guys keep chasing your greatness. Never stop believing in yourself. Stay healthy, get wealthy, and I'll catch you on the next video. Thanks.